Absolutely. Hi, everyone, and welcome to our Sunday night, 7:30 p.m. New business opportunity Zoom call. What you're going to hear tonight is something a little bit different than you've probably never heard before. Uh, I'm going to introduce you to our co-host and the person that's been doing this for a couple of years. I'm a newbie. I don't know what I'm doing, but I do know the products that this company has have been life-changing, and a lot of us baby boomers and a lot of us Um, people have some ailments, we have some challenges, and these products, there's over 100 of them, if you can believe that. With that said, I've known Ricia Adair. She was from Victoria, went and moved to Mexico 3 years ago, and that's where she lives now, about 6, 7 hours south of Puerto Vallarta with her husband. And she has been making some incredible, life changing stories with help people health wise and of course money wise as well. With that said, Risha, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Richard. Awesome introduction. We have Carol Matthews that just joined. Carol, I believe you're a friend of Cynthia's. Is that correct? You can unmute your line and say hello. Lower left
Uh,
corner. Just click on the little microphone and you can unmute and say hello.
Hello.
Hi,
there we go.
Carol. Welcome.
I'm so late joining.
It's
I
okay. We're
had a
just
blowout
about
on
to
the
get
road.
started.
Oh, great.
And where are you from, Carol? What city?
Oh, Dallas.
You're in Dallas. Perfect. Okay,
That's
excellent.
it.
Okay, thank you.
And
If
this
anyone,
and this is Joanne. This is Joanne, her sister joining with her.
oh, okay. Hi, Sister Joan. Welcome.
Welcome.
Okay, excellent. Yes,
Thank you.
Cynthia mentioned to expect the two of you. So welcome on behalf of her. I'm sure she's going to try and get on board in any moment. Richard, maybe you can text her real quick and remind her.
Mhm.
Okay, everybody. If you have background noise, please mute your phone. Like sometimes we forget when someone rings the doorbell or the dog starts barking. Please write down your questions because I kind of get into a flow. And probably I've got a slide coming up in the next couple that is going to be able to answer that question. So please write down your questions. So we're going to go ahead without interruptions. So we can just for the sake of time. But I do want to ask everybody this before I start my slides, because my slides contain an education for people who have never heard of residual income. Has everyone here on this call heard of residual income and understand the powers of it? You can just put in the chat yes or no. And then I'll have a better idea of my audience. Okay, David, yes. Harry, yes. Okay, what about Carol and Joan? Do you understand residual income and the power of it?
Yes.
Okay, good, good, good. We got lots of yeses. And what about you, John? We're good?
Yes.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
perfect. So
yeah, I'm sure
when I
John is
get to
too.
those slides, then I'm going to jump over. Okay, because I believe I have an educated, intelligent audience here. You know, sometimes I've got the employee quadrant people, but everyone here seems to be an entrepreneur, and that's awesome. Okay, well, I got to share my story with you. You're going to hear a bit, but I'll tell you about residual income. I was on a trip not too long ago, thanks to PartnerCo. They sent me on this luxury trip to Maui, Hawaii. And on my last day, I think there was some kind of crap going around in the air conditioning system, and I got really sick with a bacterial lung infection. By the time I got home, it just started into getting sicker and sicker. I was 4 weeks down. 3 of those weeks I was on a oxygen machine. I was in a really bad way. Then I had to get well and get ready for my corporate taxes here in Mexico and then my Canadian taxes. So altogether, I was 6 weeks out. And in that time, I was able to still make a 5-figure income in those weeks. And that is the power of residual income. So we're going to talk about PartnerCo tonight. I've only been at it for a couple of years, and I'll share with you how my life has drastically changed. We have some amazing products. They're all science-based, and an amazing opportunity. Bring it together, and it's called Partner Co. A little about me. We moved to Mexico just about 3 years ago to a city called Manzanillo on the West Coast. This is our dream home. And we basically bought house rich, cash poor because it has 3 villas. 2 of them are rental villas. And we thought, well, this is a perfect way to go into retirement. When we started, we only had $50,000, and moving to a new country, buying a little hotel, that's not a lot of money in the piggy bank kind of thing. Then we found out, first of all, we went through the $50,000 so fast with tradesmen coming and going and doorknobs that needed repairing, the pool pump that was broken, and you name it, all those things that can go wrong in the tropics was wrong. And we had to hustle and get the house ready for our upcoming season. So we ran out of money really fast. And then we found out that our lawyer had not paid the closing costs, so we couldn't get title to our house. He basically stole $27,000 from us. And I broke out in a bad case of shingles, betrayal and stress compounded together is a really ugly thing. It could do bad things to your body. I had a UTI infection for 4 months. I was in a bad way. I got emotionally depressed. We were so broke. And it was such a joke because we're living the dream, but we're not because we're fighting. We got no money. We were so broke. It was just such a hardship. And so Mike says, you better go see Dr. Tom. This is getting out of control. Dr. Tom did some lab work. He did some diagnostic tests, and he came back and he said, Mike, without question, your wife has FFB. Dr. Tom, whatever could that be? He says, in confidence, your wife is fat, frumpy, and broke. So all kidding aside, that was me. I was fat, frumpy, and broke. I was in a mess. And Chris and Joni Budd, my dear friends from Costa Rica, they called me on this day, April 17th, 2 years ago, and that day changed my life. They too were looking for a way that they could keep their family in Costa Rica. They're Canadians, and they wanted to stay living in Costa Rica. So they were looking for something. And Chris came across a series of Facebook posts, the same posts, but on different people's pages. And he's smart enough to understand this is a system. It's a system that's working. So he delved a little further into it. They found out about the Slenderies body balancing drops. And what these drops do, I'm going to get to that slide, but they're game changers. They're life changers. In fact, we have exclusivity to a product that everybody wants and everybody needs. And this is the day that it changed my life because my first voice said, Ricia, you need this product. The second voice said, but you don't have any money. And the third voice said, girl, just find the money from somewhere. So I found enough to buy 2 boxes. That's it. And I thought, well, I've got nothing better to do. So why don't I follow the system that Joni's talking about? And I started posting. She gave all the testimonials and the text, everything that I needed to say. But my third post, I put this one on my first day because my drops just arrived by courier to my front door. As you can see circled in red in the bottom right, I got 59 comments. Out of those 59 comments, 20 said to me, I want this product. I want to buy this product. I have to have this product. And 6 said, Ricia, I know you. I trust you. I will follow you. I'll hitch my wagon to your parade and join me as brand partners in my business.
Ricia, we cannot see your screen. You're not sharing your screen. We missed all the slides.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. I was on the phone with Sister Cynthia. She's coming on. She just is doing one little thing here.
All right. Just a moment, please. Had to turn my AC on too. It's a hot one tonight. Okay. Okay. Can you see now?
Yes, we can. Yes.
Okay.
Now we can.
Thank you. Okay. So let's go back. And y'all want to see my house after I talked about it, right? There's my house, and we live on Santiago Bay, and there's my beach. And it's a silly name, Casa 700 Mangoes. To find out why I named it that, you're just going to have to come and visit me, and I'll make you dinner upstairs, and I'll tell you the whole story. So there's Chris and Joni, my friends from Costa Rica, and they called. This is my post. 59 comments. Wow. But what this told me was In my years of networking, I have never in my life had people that reached out to me and said, I want your product. It's usually picking up that 400-pound phone, convincing people they have to have a look at things. I was blown away. And so many other people, as a matter of fact, when we go to an event, a speaker will always ask, who here signed up into PartnerCo because they saw a post? 60% of the audience will stand up. And there could be 2,000 people in the room or 300. 60% will always stand up because they saw a post. So guys, we have a system that works. It's an easy system and it could put you into the money very, very quickly. I'm going to fast forward over the next 7 months. I had an incredible run. New air conditioning systems in every room of the villas. New motorcycle for Mike. We had done so much. We painted our house, new appliances in all the villas. There were so many things that we were able to do to upgrade our property. And now we're running. It's our first year. We're getting used to this hotel gig. December 24th, 2024, the first earthquake happened and it caused our pool to fail. It started to fail. You know, you could see that the water was going down and down and down very quickly. Well, then we were hit by 6 more small earthquakes. We had people in one of the villas, and Rob and Lori were moving into the other villa in 4 days. I couldn't bear to tell Rob and Lori, guess what? The pool is broken, you know? So fortunately, thanks to PartnerCo, I had enough money that I could actually call Alfredo and his team, and over Christmas holidays, have them expedite the repair of our pool and reopen on January 14th with a little pool celebration party. This saved our bacon because we would have had to relocate people, give them the money back. And as I mentioned, if PartnerCo hadn't come along, we were broke in April, we were still being broke in December, because that was the only thing different that happened for us. That same December, I got an email from the company to congratulate me that I was awarded a beautiful trip, 5-star, to the best resort in the Caribbean, to Punta Cana, Dominican Republic vacation. In January of this year, they sent me to Park City, Utah to celebrate the top 100 power rankers. I was number 43 last year. And then we just came back from Maui, May 2026. There was 250 people in Maui. Half of those people were brand new in PartnerCo. So my life has changed. Remember where I came from? I was FFB, right? That from being broke. Well, here's my transition. Mike left Manzanillo to go to Victoria to sell our powerboat. I looked like the girl on the left when he left. When he came back in 3.5 months, I answered the front door looking like the girl on the right. And he said, who are you and what have you done with my wife? This was my transition, 34 pounds in 90 days. I was no longer depressed. I was no longer unhappy. I was no longer craving for sweets. I'm on my road to super healthy. In addition to that, I had crazy owies in my fingers and toes. I think we all know what that one is, the inflammation that seems to happen there. I had plantar fasciitis. As you can see, my beach flip-flops. I live in my Clarks. I could hardly walk the dog for walks. And everything changed. Everything changed. My body got back into balance. I've filled with joy. I've got no more pain, no more inflammation, multiple vacations, including an African safari, Paris and Budapest. Multiple savings accounts, and I don't forget where I came from. And I want to help everybody have an even greater transition than my own. So what's exciting is that we are able to do business in over 50 countries, and Harry is with us on the phone from the UK. Definitely, the UK is on this chart. What is wonderful about this is it's transparent. There are no international business licenses, no tax numbers, no extra fees that you have to pay to do business in the UK or in the US or Canada. It's all included in your membership fee that we're going to discuss in a moment. PartnerCo has third-party validations for first-class performance standards in all of these different certifications. We are very, very strict on the ingredients that we put into our products. They are clean ingredients. You will not find fillers, bad things, anything in our products that can indicate for going cheap. We believe that nature offers the best way to nurture your body. We have an amazing scientific advisory board, including Dr. Joshua Plant. He's our chief science officer. He has a PhD in medical sciences from Harvard. Ray Strand, he's 80 years old now, and he's still so excited to be part of PartnerCo. He's our chief medical officer. He's written all kinds of books about proactive health and sold in millions. And with these experts and their teams, we have over 215 published clinical studies, 1,040 quality tests to ensure that you get the pharmaceutical grade quality that we promise that bottle is going to contain. What's very important, the physician's desk reference has 6 of our products listed in that desk reference. Our products are 100% money back guaranteed as well too. And one thing that you'll notice about these products in my years of network marketing and being in different health and wellness, I've never really noticed a difference. With PartnerCo, you notice something. You'll notice with MOA, when I get to that product to talk to you about it, you don't have the inflammation in your fingers and toes and your knees and your elbows. When we get to Noni, you'll notice that your immunity system is that much stronger and you have greater energy. When you get to the drops, you'll notice that you don't have that craving for sugar and spaghetti and you eat half the plate because you're full. You notice the differences in every single product that we offer you. I'm going to give a quick disclaimer as I jump into talking about the products. We don't profess to cure or heal or any medical condition or diagnose, and we certainly don't guarantee any level of income. It's all about your individual passion. So this is a slide that has a lot of impact because 90 years ago, our grandparents never experienced any of this, what's on our slides. In fact, 90 years ago, 90% of the diseases we have today did not exist back then. And guess what? 90% of the foods that we eat today did not exist 90 years ago. Let's look at the heavy metals in the rivers, the pesticide residues, the toxins in our food, the systematic poisonings, the water, the chemtrails, and add to this, excuse me, all the sugar in the food products. That's not even food-like products, it's processed food. Fast food, they get us addicted to these foods, but not to worry because there's a pill, there's a needle, there's something, that can stick in your belly. Well, guess what? We need to be proactive, and that's what PartnerCo is all about, is taking charge of your own wellness. We have the products to balance your hormones. We're going to talk about that. Healthy weight loss. Who wouldn't want increased energy, right? Or better sleep? We all do. Who wouldn't want us a gut health, immune health? And we have so many professional athletes that love our products because they're increased performance. Now, we're going to share with you only 4 products tonight. We have well over 100, but I'm going to share with you my 4 favorites. MOA is a product recently told me. He was somebody that Chris put on the phone to have a conversation with me. And I told him about what I was suffering in fingers and toes in my heels. And he said, Ricia, your first paycheck, you have to get MOA. MOA counteracts stress, it calms the mind, it improves cognition, metabolism and energy, and your cardio system as well. Let's look a little closer. It's a sachet, you drink it, it's got a little bit of a spicy hit, it's almost like a spicy V8 juice. All of these ingredients, 36 superfoods, most of them found in tropic destinations. They come together along with 6 of the world's most healing mushrooms. It's all pure nutrition by a very specific formula. And what it does, it goes towards pain and inflammation. And this is what did it for me with my owies and my fingers and toes. First 3 weeks, I noticed about a 75% reduction. In 6 weeks, I noticed with my goofy flip-flops, I'm walking Rusty the dog without any issues whatsoever. So I will not go without my MOA. It's my go-to. First thing in the morning is my MOA. Here's Deborah's legs. She has diabetic legs. 20 days on the MOA. There she is on the right. I see this story after story. I'm going to share with you James. We're going to come to his testimonial in a moment. And he has an incredible testimonial on the MOA, as many of us do. Now, another one of my favorites is Renew. I call it the fountain of youth in a box. Renew is the only product of its kind in the world. It has 2 international patents. It teaches the body to create its own pathways to create HGH. So it really combats the natural aging process. And who doesn't want to feel younger, act younger, move younger, and look younger, right? Our human growth hormone, HGH, declines very quickly once we reach that age of 60. And the 65-year-old ages 120 times faster than a 12-year-old because his level of HGH. So we have to replenish that HGH if we want to feel young, act young, look young. This is all about, instead of being on a walker and a cane, is about on the trampoline with your grandchildren. That's what we're talking about, is giving you another avenue of life. So HGH is directly contributed to slow aging for your brain function, cognitive function, your skin and hair. You'll burn body fat more when you have HGH, bone density, sexual function and libido, immune function, and sleep. I love this because when I take my Renew, I sleep deep. Athletes use the Renew after a workout. It slows down your aging process. It increases your exercise capacity. It is just amazing. When you go to Partner Co events, you're going to be blown away how none of us look our age. You'll be blown away. So, I'm going to show you a picture of a lady who's just about 70, and she looks like she's in her young 40s. It's just incredible how these products affect us. It's great. And we feel young. It's not only looking young. It's not only about vanity, folks. This is about feeling young and having that energy again, because none of us want to get old, right? Let me introduce you to the miracle tree known as moringa. Moringa is the most nutrient-dense plant in the world. The best moringa comes from India, cold conditions at night, hot conditions in the day. We purchase from India. It's complicated. There's moringa in Mexico, but it's not as efficacious as the moringa that comes out of India. We shade dry. We go through some very specific processes to shade dry. It's expensive and laborious. A lot of companies will take just the leaf and tumble dry. We use every part of the tree, including those long bean pods, the seeds inside the bean pods, and the leaves. And together, when we put it into a formula, it's going to help you with antioxidants against the oxidative stress. And oxidative stress is just basically the rust, and we're rusting from the inside out. We want to slow down that process. All 9 essential amino acids for vitality, and the mineral and vitamins that many of us are deficient in because we don't eat the vegetables that we're supposed to, like iron and B vitamins, but also too, we all know the GMO and the fooling around with our foods, that they don't have the same nutrients that grandpa had. So this most nutrient-dense plant has 10 times more vitamin A than carrots, 17 times more calcium than milk, 9 times more protein than yogurt, 15 times more potassium than bananas, and 25 times more iron than spinach. You drink that moringa in the morning and you're going to feel so nutrified. You want to drink it on an empty stomach. So my rank of order is moringa first, and then I have my moa along with my noni juice. We also have noni, the best Tahitian noni in the world. Anyways, I regress. The moringa, you're going to feel the energy. You're going to feel better sleep. You're going to feel no more gut bloating. You're going to feel your immune system be strong. If you drink moringa or taste it from the tree, it has a very earthy flavor. Ours is almost a sensuous mixed berry flavor. It's a delicious drink. Vital One also has other very efficient botanicals that add to the formula for your best value into wellness. Chia seeds for gut health support, sweet potato, broccoli, broccoli sprouts and broccoli, maitake mushrooms, spinach, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds. If anyone's interested, put it in the chat, put video, Dr. Plant video, and I'll send you the video of Dr. Plant, our Chief Science Officer, and his team, of why this moringa product is so different from any other moringa that's on the market today. In my opinion, it's the best moringa product. Vital One is its name. It comes in beautiful packaging. It just launched last Saturday. There was about 40 people that were part of the beta tasting group, and they all say similar results: more energy, better digestive. I feel like I'm not as hungry as I used to be. I sleep so much better. Carol, the one in the white in the middle there, excuse me. She was going through cancer treatment. She lost a lot of her hair. She actually noticed that her hair is growing back over 28 days. One great testimonial after another. Now let's move in our segue into the drops. First of all, these symptoms here, mood swings, low libido, headaches, night sweats, food cravings, especially for sugars and carbs, hot flashes, acne, insomnia, tiredness, weight gain. I had no idea that this is about hormone imbalance. I just said, I'm over 60, I'm getting old, that's what it is. I can't lose weight, I can't lose weight, that's what it is. Well, guys, this is about hormonal imbalance. This is what happens when you're not correct. So I'd like you to put in the chat, if you have 1 to 3 of these symptoms, put 3. If you have 4 to 7, put 7. If you have 8 to 10, put 10. Many of us, when we started, had 7. Some people write 10. I see a lot of 10s actually. Well, what we do to help you is basically move into something, a tool that's going to get you past all of these problems. One thing first, though, back to that first slide I talked about. Canada, Mexico, and the United States are the highest in overweight and obesity. The highest. Get this, a little side note. I just had lunch with a friend called Bev. She was telling me about some health issues she had. The doctor was asking her, as he did her blood work, if she was drinking a lot, referring to alcohol. And he asked, when was the last time you drank? Because your liver numbers are showing signs of sclerosis. And she says, doctor, I hardly drink, like 2 glasses of wine. That's it. And he says, well, what about Coke? Do you drink Coke? And she says, yeah, I've been drinking 3 Cokes a day for the last 30 years. He said, you got to stop doing that. You're killing yourself. This isn't about diabetes or something you can treat. It's called, he said, you're going to die. You got to stop this. So there's foods out there that are killing us. And I've got some background noise. If you don't mind muting your lines.
Carol?
Rich, I'm going to give you the co-host so you can mute the lines if we have anybody with background, because a lot of people.
Sounds good. No worries.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, people don't realize that there's background noise going on. So we have to be careful of what we put into our body because it could be an innocent glass of Coke that turns into a liver issue. And I don't want to target any one company. I'm just saying we need to be careful and make better choices. And this is what exactly is going to help you. We have 4 formulas in the world. So Harry is with us from the UK. Harry, this is the formula that you and Canadians will enjoy, is the day and night formula. We have the US formula that is the Slenderies and Accelerate. All of the formulas will do this for you. Balance your hormones. It'll curb your appetite. It'll satisfy the ghrelin hormone, that little one that talks to your brain that says, eat more or you're full now. You'll find that you'll eat half of your dinner because the ghrelin is now acting in proper order again. It stabilizes your blood sugars. It takes away your sugar cravings. Guys, I haven't had sugar in about 800 days, and I used to be a sugar addict like crazy. Increases your energy, boosts your mood. A lot of people call this the happy drops, supports your thyroid, increases metabolic rate. So in Canada, they are herbal. In the United States, they are homeopathic. In the UK, they are herbal. There's no hormones in these products. It's all plant-based, a special formula that all bring you the same results. In fact, you will drop twice the weight as diet alone. They're clinically proven, created by doctors, backed by science, and they're safe and effective, stimulant and hormone-free. Now, I want to add this. This is very important. The drops were created to balance your body. A side effect, especially if you follow our clean eating program, is that the weight falls off of you. That's a side effect. These are not weight loss drops. It just so happens when you get your body back into order, with the low glycemic diet, your body is naturally going to want, it just burns the fat. And I've never really felt, I wasn't running around and weightlifting and going to the gym. Are you kidding me? I was doing like chair yoga maybe and walking rusty, So it's amazing what happens. Now, let's encourage you to participate in the food list. We don't go hungry. all the proteins you can possibly imagine. You see the entire list there. Healthy fats, low glycemic fruit, and vegetables. Stay away from the 5 whites, the rice, the flour, the sugar, and the dairy, and so on, and watch what happens. We have so many clean eating cookbooks with all kinds of fabulous recipes. We don't go hungry, guys. This is a buffet that the Vancouver Island team did for one of my Super Saturdays. Everything on this table is on plan, including the desserts and the breads, all on plan. So it's just thinking differently about how you cook, thinking differently about the items you put in your grocery cart, staying away from packaged and processed foods. This is how our grandparents did it 90 years ago. They didn't have craft dinner back then, right? No, they did healthy food. It's not a fad or diet, it's making a lifestyle choice to eat clean. And I'm not saying you can't ever have a piece of birthday cake again. Of course you can. But it's just make more conscious choices to be healthier 80% of the time. Drink your water. We all know to do that. Move your body 5 days a week, and you're going to see some incredible transformations start to happen. We have so many people that have had terrific stories, terrific testimonies. When I put my slide of a dozen people together, it was so hard for me to choose. Here's Nancy from Vancouver Island. The lady on the left had a severe autoimmune disorder. She got really, really heavy, very depressed. 4 months later, after the drop, she's now on the pickleball court every single day but Sunday. Cheryl Cook, she's almost 80 years old. She lost 50 pounds in 4 months. She had a chronic cough that she would actually have to pull the car over. She couldn't drive because of the cough. She had this cough for over 30 years. In 1 week of using the drops, the cough went away. We don't profess to cure, but it just seems when your body gets back into balance, that wonderful machine that God gave us, it goes into a state of self-correct and starts looking after itself. And that's what we want to help you do. This is my friend James Scott I was telling you about. He was very depressed. In fact, he was suicidal. He was on the top of a little mountain and about to jump. And someone wrote in Talk, "Don't jump." And the very next day, Cheryl Cook called him and said, "James, you got to know about these drops." Fast forward, he has lost over 70 pounds. He no longer has tremors from his early onset Parkinson's that he had since 17 years old. He smashed a foot. They reconstructed his foot, and he had to walk with a leg brace. He hasn't worn his leg brace of 17 years since he's been on the MOA with these products. It's an amazing testimony, and it's one after the other that I get. Christy is another example, a friend of mine out of Alberta. She was a single mom with 2 special needs kids, fibromyalgia, thyroid disorders. She was eating Tylenol and Advil every day. She had a cleaning business. She could hardly function. The kids always had special needs and attention. She was able to sell her cleaning job in 1 year, or her cleaning business. She's a 6-figure income earner. She was number 4 tops in Canada. And look at this girl. She looks like a bikini model. Can you believe it? 40 pounds. And she celebrates because she has no more pain and energy all day long. This is my beautiful friend, Kim Gray from Alabama. Kim, in the white outfit there, the doctor said, if something doesn't change, you'll be spending the rest of your life in a wheelchair. She heard about the drops and she said to Todd, "I will do whatever it takes." He said, "Call me every day. Let me know you've drank your water. Let me know what you're eating." This is Kim Gray now. She's never been out of the state of Alabama. There she is on a cruise ship in Tahiti, thanks to Partner Co. She's lost 118 pounds. She is a special, not special, but a rare case of muscular dystrophy. And she could not go to the bathroom. She had to go by ambulance to the hospital to go to the bathroom every 28 days or so. Our probiotics are now helping her go to the bathroom regularly, just like you and I, along with our other Core Cleanse product. So you've got story after story of lives that are different, that Kim can go to the bathroom normally, whereas you and I just accept it for granted. Chris Bailey had Lyme disease. He had a heck of a time trying to find any help with his Tennessee doctors. He found the drops and he was able to feel better and be able to manage his situation. Wendy Binney, a friend of mine out of Winnipeg, look at 28 pounds down from August to October. She was depressed. She couldn't go up and down the stairs because of her inflammation in her knees, and she had to rent a golf cart. Now she walks the course. She's an 18-hole girl, and she's just celebrating. She's happy and joyous. She's amazing. I love her. James Laponsi. Yes, guys, you have hormones too. 47 pounds in 4 months. Look at the guy on the right, the physiology transformation. He doesn't even look at all like the guy on the left. And this is what so often happens in all of these. My good friend Sharon Smith from 2XX to size 4. Dr. Crystal lost 162 pounds 7 years ago. These drops have been on the market for 15 years, so many people have were introduced to them a long time ago. She still looks like that beautiful lady on the right. My friend Jane couldn't clasp her hands because there was so much inflammation, and the dog is begging, "Come on, Mom, get off the couch. I want to go for a walk." 4 months later, Jane came to my meeting in Victoria, Canada, and she says, "Ricia, I have to leave your meeting early because a guy's selling a kayak and I need to go buy it before someone else grabs it." Down 54 pounds in 4 months. People are getting their lives back. So that concludes the portion of our products. As I say, we've got so many products. I'd keep you on the phone all night if I was able to tell you about the wonders in each and every one of them. But you're probably wondering, okay, I'm convinced I want these drops. I want the Moa, I want the Renew, I want the Moringa. The drops are available on retail for 1 box, 1 month for one person at $236 Canadian or 176 US dollars. It's worth every single red nickel. You are going to save that much in your shopping cart when you're not putting in the croissants, the ice cream, the marmalade, and all the rest of those things that we shouldn't be eating, right? But I'll tell you guys, why in the world would you pay retail when you could purchase wholesale, right? Let's get right to it. A brand partner or preferred customer will pay the same $37.95 Canadian or $29.95 US. If you're a customer, it gives you qualifications to discounts. If you're a brand partner, you're going to get all the tools you need to build a business, plus the training, the back office, the replicated website. There are no monthly fees for any of these tools. So it's a one-time lifetime membership fee that gives you automatically a 30% discount in your first month. If you were to retail these products, it gives you 30% in retail. So now I think everybody on this call is here to not only hear about getting well and healthy, but also to help others get well and healthy and make a profit too. If that's the case with you in the chat, will you please put me? All right. Well, let's talk about that then. So again, Harry, you're going to have to do some quick calculations in your mind about what it would be in the UK, and we could certainly get those slides available to you so I can get the exact information. Canada, a 4-pack is $500. If you're buying the drops solely personally for yourself, you never want to make money, you never want to make a profit, I still recommend you get a 4-pack because this is a 90 to 120-day program to change your body. Your body needs that time with this product to go through the transition. If you choose to make it as a business, you're going to keep 1 box for yourself, learn our system of growth training, which is like very, very simple. Sell 3 boxes and make a Canadian dollar profit of $225. So basically, you're getting your box for free. In the United States, it's very similar. The United States is $371 for a 4-pack. Keep 1 for yourself. Sell 3 on our system of growth and make profits of $222. Now, you noticed the Canadian selling price here is $200. It's a friends and family. It's that magic number in Canada that people buy the drops. I have a lot of brand partners that sell it at full retail at $236. And I have brand partners in the United States that sell it at full retail $176. But $167 is that magic number. You're offering a 15% friends and family discount, making a sizable profit and getting your box for free. Good or good? So let's talk about going forward. Remember my post? That's how it all started with me. I'm in Manzanillo, right? How am I going to do hotel events and presentations? No, I got on Facebook and I just started posting. And it happened. The magic happened. We use an app called Boards. It's a free app. You download it onto your phone. We teach you how to use it. And once you have Boards, you're going to see, like in the bottom left, you'll see the picture of Kim Gray, and beside her is Michelle. And then we have a picture of Joanne. The picture and the text is simply copy and paste. And when people inquire, you have a private conversation with them in Messenger and you copy and paste, because we have every answer to every inquiry. We have videos to send them from Dr. Ray Strand, from Dr. Crystal. We have so much information inside that if you know how to copy and paste, you can do this business. It is so simple. Here's an example of a post. Rick and Crystal lost 210 pounds between February and November. That's crazy. You think that picture is not going to get results? People inquire all the time. They come out of the woodwork. And I didn't even know people in my Facebook friends. And I have to ask, how do I know you? It doesn't matter how I know you. I just want the drops. So the business partner that wants to continue receiving discounts and a weekly paycheck from team building commissions, because we do get paid every Friday, you're going to want to add to your shopping cart to subscribe and save. Of course, we're a product company, so we want you to fall in love with our products. And these are consumables. So you're going to run out of MOA. You're going to need another box of MOA. 100 points in Canada is roughly about 185, 200 Canadian dollars. In the US, it's roughly about 155, 170 Canadian dollars or US dollars, depending on what you choose. So keeping your monthly subscription active will pay you from team commissions as you start building a team. It gives you continued 30% discounts. You'll get the loyalty shopping because they want to reward us for being loyal. So we get all kinds of great deals coming our way. And you get lifestyle credits for everything you do. You have a monthly subscription, you get lifestyle credits. You sign up Mary as a new brand partner, you get lifestyle credits. You reach the rank of ultimate, you get lifestyle credits. And then you cash in those credits for trips. The monthly subscription bills every fourth Friday. There's no contract. You can be a snowbird. You can suspend. There's all kinds of options. Just know if you want to be a brand partner and hang on to those points that your upline leader might have placed underneath you, you're going to want to keep your subscription alive and active so you don't lose all those points, because we do have a point carry forward. Now, we all know this guy. If you don't find the money to make money while you sleep, you'll work until you die. And when I was a little girl, I was born in 1958. So by the time when I was in my teens, in the 70s, all my uncles were retired and they weren't looking for another job. My aunties, my uncles, they were all retired and they were volunteering and doing church stuff and bingo stuff and all kinds of stuff. Nowadays, that's not the case. People can't retire at 65. And if they're forced out, they have to go and find more work from somewhere. It's a sad situation that so many Canadians and Americans, and probably British as well, don't have that extra income. It's said that most people are $500 away from bankruptcy. So let us help you find that way. We were voted the #1 compensation plan by Business for Home magazine out of 750 plus company comp plans that were dissected. We're #1. Let's share with you in how many ways we're paid. One is retail sales. Again, you are able to get 30% profit on all your retail sales, which is like super cool. And sometimes we get even more. Now, the next one is you're going to be sponsoring and introducing people to the Zooms, just as Richard and Cynthia has invited people tonight. And so as they come into your business, Partner Co wants to reward you with a new volume bonus. That's like a fast start commission. First, you need 200 points of products one time to activate your income position. Do you remember the 4-pack we talked about? The 4-pack is 200 points. You would be receiving 15% new volume bonus commission on Mary's purchases on the 1,000 points that she purchased, should that have been your new brand partner. That's $150. Let's say you came in or you upgraded over the first 4 weeks into the business level. Let's say that's a 10-pack. You would receive 20% or $200 on that same transaction. The elite could be 2 10-packs That's 25%. You get another pay raise, $250. And ultimate is where we want everyone to get because it is the top pay. It's 30% or $300 on that very same transaction. Now, what is really important is that you continue to make that 30% at the ultimate status or elite business or activated, wherever you are, for all of Mary's purchases in her first 4 weeks or until she gets ultimate herself. So in other words, if you sponsor someone who becomes ultimate, you'll make $450 US. When you achieve ultimate once, you keep that top pay status for a lifetime. You never have to requalify again. For every time you sponsor another Mary, you will earn this new volume bonus. So it's to reward you for introducing these people into the company. Capiche? We got that? Everyone's nodding? We're good. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So here's an example. You can mix and match at your choice, but how it usually works is people buy some inventory with the drops along with some of their other favorite products. The Moa, the Renew are must-haves. The Moringa is amazing. So let's say you wanted a 4-pack of drops or a 10-pack to get started with some inventory, then we can help you choose a kit of any of the other products. And often there's extra value or free products when we put our little kits together. The idea is keep 1 box of drops for yourself, get started on the program immediately, and keep a little bit of inventory so you could start posting. People come out of the woodwork. They say, hey, David, I would like to buy a box of drops. They happen to be in the Edmonton area. David makes arrangement for pickup. They send David an e-transfer for the $200 or the $236, whichever he chooses to sell at. And you make arrangement for pickup. That same person might be in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, which is a bit of a drive for David to deliver. So he just sends it in Canada Post. Your customer pays an extra $20 and off it goes. Or they might be more comfortable to pay with a credit card. So David can send him his smart link and the customer clicks on the smart link and that 4-pack is delivered, or that single box rather is delivered directly to the customer from the company. So a 4-pack, if you sold all 4 boxes, is $300 profit. 10-pack is cost of $11.90. The profit is $810. The 30-pack, the cost is $3,500, but your profits are $2,500. And when I looked at this in hindsight, if I knew what I knew now, I would have come in as ultimate right out of the gate, just to get that monkey off your back. You don't want that 4-week time limit or anything. You just want to get her done and get the top pay right out of the gate. But if you look at traditional business, where in the world can you start a brick and mortar business for $3,500 and make $2,500 probably in your first month? You can't. When my brick and mortar business was happening with my training school, it cost me $6,000 for a website. And I hadn't even opened the door yet. No, not one nickel had showed up. So you got to think of it that way as a business person on how quickly you can get to ultimate. When I have my big calls on Tuesday nights, I ask my fellow brand partners, if you got to ultimate in your first 30 days, please put it in the chat. And I see ultimate, 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 ultimate. We all do it because we all want to achieve top pay. In the United States, the numbers are very similar, except your individual cost is less. A 4-pack, $371, but you profit $300. 10-pack, $879, your profits are $800. And a 30-pack is $24.99, and you profit $2,500. So, Harry, I don't know if the 30-packs are available in the UK because the rules are a little different there. But again, I can get a deck of slides and we could go over that for you if you like. So there's so many perks that getting to ultimate. Just understand that it is the top paid position of our company, and you keep that title for as long as you're with Partner Co. Now, Mary's going to go out there and talk to her people. She happens to be well connected with the church. You've sponsored Jessica. She's the lady in the orange, and she's well connected with everybody. And then we have Linda on the third leg, and she goes out and speaks to others and starts inviting them to the Zooms, plugging them in. And before you know it, those people are buying 10-packs. Those people are doing monthly subscriptions. Those people are introducing to their friends. Those people are posting on Facebook. They're moving inventory. So there's activity happening throughout these introductions because you originally made them. So Partner Co wants to reward you for this. The base commissions are 15%, and that basically is the word that we gave the activity for your team. You make 15% on all the activity of your teams in several legs. So you're not restricted to 2 like normal binaries, several legs except your biggest power leg. This particular slide was presented for when you go to CEO. That's the position I'm at. So I achieved the CEO paid position last November, Black Friday, when there was frenzy going on. You need to optimize each leg at 13,334 because that's what Partner Co will pay you up to. If you have 15,000, you're not paid on the extra 1,700. You're paid on 13,334. It's called optimized. So a CEO would make a minimum just in this category commissions of $5,500 a week. But let's get back to basics. Let's say your power leg had 10,000 points this week, and Jessica in the middle had 5,000 with her team, and Linda on the right had 5,000 with her team. The biggest leg, which is Mary, you're not going to get paid this category of commissions, but you will receive 15% from all of the activity of all of those friends that Jessica has, and you'll get paid 15% on all the activity that Linda has. That's $650 for Jessica's team and $650 for Linda's team in that week. That is base commissions, okay? This takes a little time because first you have to sponsor the people, then you have to help them build a team. But it happens very, very quickly. And before you know it, there's people buying. The average consumption of products on my team is 8 to 10 products every month. People fall in love with our products. They love our products. When we had the Moringa launch, I had over 800 people press the button and say, I want to have this new Moringa product. So now they're hooked on the Moringa product because they love it. They notice the vitality. So that's one more product that they buy every month. And people make money from Partner Co so they can pay for their products. It's basically like that. When your base commissions in any 1 week make $250 or more, Partner Co is going to pay you what is called savings bonus 15% match, and they're going to put it into your savings bonus account. When it adds up, and you do see the wheel of activity in your back office, when it adds up to $10,000, you're going to get paid 10,000 USD. So for the Canadians on the call with me, it's roughly about 13,700. And for the Americans, of course, it's 10,000 US. And I don't know what that is in the UK, Harry, but you know. So that savings bonus 15% continues to pay you even after you've unlocked your bonus. When I was at our convention, PXP 2024, 10 families were on stage. 28 families celebrated these cardboard checks because they received their 10,000 over the year. That's me in the pink dress next to John Wadsworth right in the center. Many people triggered their savings bonus anywhere from 8 to 14 months, depending on the activity in their team. I unlocked mine in 14 months. And with this $10,000, I said, hello, Africa. Off I went to Tanzania, Kenya, and Budapest and Paris. I had an amazing time. That was in January and February of this year. Now, remember Mary? She was your very first brand partner. Well, she's gone to town. She's climbed the ranks and she's doing exceptionally well. You're going to always be paid on Mary and her business in the category called matching bonus. Whatever Mary makes on base commissions, which is 15% of her activity of her team, you're going to make 15% of that. So if Mary made $1,000 in a week on base commissions, you'll make 150. So you can well imagine Chris and Joni, they made that one phone call to me 2 years ago, and it's still continuing to pay them, not only in base commissions from my activity, but also in this matching bonus. So the more Marys that you introduce to your business, the more 15% matching bonus you'll have on your first generation of Marys. Mary introduces Roger. The more Rogers you have, you get 10%, and so on and so forth. The gold status of matching bonus is unlocked at the same time that you achieve ultimate in your first 4 weeks. So this is very, very, very important because over time, the matching bonus part of our compensation plan, as your team matures and more people come on board and more people purchase products and monthly subscriptions, this is where the big money happens. PartnerCo has paid out over $10 million in savings bonus. Over 124,000 people have rank advanced in 3.5 years. It's all about lifestyle and adventure. John and Darren are adamant about spoiling us with incredible lifestyle. And that's why we have such a generous lifestyle credit program. It's travel rewards where you actually travel. You get to win 2 free trips a year. Upcoming are Cancun and Morocco in 2027. I'm so excited about that. If you're excited about going to Cancun or Morocco or both, put me in the chat because I want to know who I'm going traveling with. And I just want to quickly introduce you to Barbara. Go ahead.
No, I said definitely. Everyone likes to travel,
That's it.
especially if someone else pays for it.
Exactly. Oh my God. You haven't traveled until you get a trip from PartnerCo. I'm telling you. They spoil us so much. Swag and product and gifts and 5-star rooms and swimming pools. It's just amazing. This is my dear friend Barbara and her husband Randy out of Bolivia. My sister and brother of God, children of God. They're just amazing, amazing people. I love them, love them, love them, love them, love them. And they're not connected to me in a financial lineage. They're in another line, but we just have that connection. Barb on the left and Barb on the right. A picture tells 1,000 stories. She's released over 50 pounds and kept it off. Her A1Cs, cholesterol, triglycerides, and LDL are now in healthy ranges. Before she couldn't sleep at all, had very low energy. Now she sleeps deeply. She's moves without pain. She is almost 70 years old. She looks amazing. My goodness. Look at Randy. Randy just turned 70. Look at the difference. My goodness, these people. I want to tell you a little story. During times of COVID, Randy was a court reporter. He lost his job. She was an X-ray technician in what do you call it? MRIs and CAT scans and so on. And she lost her job as well. They ended up living on their son's property in a bit of a sugar shack. And it took them a while. It took them 2 years to build a kitchen in the sugar shack. They used to bathe in the creek in the freezing cold water. And just as they got the sugar shack into a position that it was somewhat livable, the son says him and his wife are going through a divorce and they have to leave the land. They are now in 2 years, the same as me. They started in May 2024, so very close to my start date. They are now living in their dream home in North Carolina. Their lives have completely, completely changed. Okay, Richard, can you hear me okay?
Now I can. You muted yourself for a second there.
Yeah. Okay. So guys, Kapil gave me a very interesting statistic the other day. He said, Ricia, there's 71 million baby boomers in the United States. 71 million. I imagine in Canada, the percentages in comparison to total population is very similar. We are all looking to feel younger, to look younger, to be younger, because life has changed. You know, grandma looks different than she did when I grew up, right? And we're looking at a $4 trillion global wellness economy. PartnerCo is stretched out globally for you to be able to celebrate success and be able to change people's lives just from working from your phone and gaining residual income. As if you remember my story, when I was really sick with that lung infection, I wasn't missing a heartbeat. I didn't have to think about work. I just thought about getting well. So this is all about freedom. Just a moment, please.
Sorry, actually, one second. Amazon's here. What are you expecting?
Yeah, guys, just a quick little update while Risha's just talking to her husband for a second. Must be important. I have to say that Risha tried to call me a couple years ago, tried to call me 6 months, a year and a half ago, a year ago, 6 months ago. I've known her for a long time, and I never pictured myself ever doing anything with health and wellness until, I finally said, you know what? She's been so nice and persistent and not very pushy. And I thought, okay, so we did a call, then we did a Zoom, and I spent about 35 hours doing some research. She got me on the phone with the president of the company who was in Mallorca, Spain. This gentleman on the right in the black t-shirt. His name is John Wadsworth. He was with a company called Tahitian Noni for 30 years. And Tahitian Noni, then, and he was their number one earner. I think he was like earning, in excess of a few $1,000,000 every year. I think it was like 4 or 5 million. Actually, it's closer to 5. We're not supposed to make any money claims, but I think that's where he was at. Now, what's interesting is in Mallorca, Spain, when I was talking to him, so I asked him for the story, and the company and 7 or 8 other network marketing companies were bought by a hedge fund that was publicly traded. And just before COVID, they had a different marketing plan, was to put all these products on the shelves of health food stores and Walmart and, PharmaSave, Publix, Walgreens, all those big ones in the US. And they didn't really care about what was going on with their whole base of their people that they were doing the referral marketing. And to make a long story short, COVID hit, and we all know that everyone stopped going to all those places overnight. And they managed to pick the company up and all these other companies, which was like $300 million of assets for about $27 million in bankruptcy. And they've kept it all alive. And one of the things that was really important to me was the fact in their rules and policies and procedures, they will never change the comp plan. That's written in there. The comp plan will never change. They also are doing the same with the formulations in all of their products. They're not going to cheapen it because of greed and all that. And the fact that they pay out 52% of all sales to us, which makes them by far the number one payout in the industry. And with Ricia, when I talked to her, she has like 1,500 people or 1,600. 800 of them are active, buying 7 or 8 products every month. So the people love the products, and for the baby boomers, we like to feel good. And I'll just leave it at that. Okay, Ricia, back to you.
Thank you. I do apologize for the interruption. Thank you very, very much. And that is so true that when I shared my income with Richard in comparison what he did, we did the same kind of income. But how many people did you have in your organization, Richard?
35,000.
Yeah. And I have 1,600, of which I know 800 are purchasing every month. Some people are purchasing every other month kind of thing, but 800 consistently. So when you look at the numbers and producing the same kind of income, it just goes to show you that it's just an easier parade, right?
Oh,
It's just
staggering. Yeah. And plus the 4 or 5 people that I didn't target them out. It was just because I was on the phone with them. And I said, hey, I want you to take a look at this. I think this is something I'm going to, jump into. And of the 6 people that we spoke to, did Zoom calls, Ricia, 5 of them joined. 1 is joining on Monday. We have a couple more tomorrow morning. And when I say joining, the products, they're like, okay, I'll place a product order. The business aspect of it is second, but for someone like Mr. David Dick, and even, Sister Cynthia said, oh no, I don't really know anybody. I just want to do it myself. And already she has a couple of people on the call here, and maybe even with John Headley, unless he was part of our 12X Business AI. So this is just something that is very, very easy to get people on. And I haven't even posted anything on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. And that's the other thing I'm going to start doing, is posting 2 ads a day so we can get that as well. Okay, I think we're wrapping up here, aren't we? Because I know.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Okay, so let's move on. There's all the reasons why you need to go, but I think this slide is the most important. We're a startup company, 3.5 years, but we're not new because we bought a collection of 14 companies. Tahitian Only is 30 years old. The drops are 15 years old. We've got longevity with all of our products, and we're very quickly into hyper growth with the 50 countries that we're in. Tomorrow, when you go to church, when you go to work, all the people you meet have all of these same symptoms. We got a lot of people that we need to reach out and help. So we're wrapping it up in Canada. Again, the lifetime membership is $37.95. That's a one-time lifetime. Qualifying packs are anywhere from $500 to $3,500 Canadian. And in the US, the lifetime pack or the lifetime fee is $30, and the qualifying packs are $371 to $24.99. So at this point, I'd just love to say thank you to the brand partners for being here to support us, and also to you guests, because otherwise we'd be preaching to the choir, right? But we'd love for you to join us. We have some great training coming up. In fact, we've got a training call tomorrow. We've got all kinds of great stuff coming up. But who loves what you saw tonight and would like to join us?